So I've got work after this. I wonder if anyone's going to be like, oh, your makeup looks interesting today. Sorry about the rain, it's hot, muggy and bucketing down here. So this won't only be the first update to my Pan That palette, but also a surprise palette bingo using nothing but the Australis Kaleidoscope palette. Let's get started with a quick update of where I'm up to with this palette. And here's my current progress. As you might remember, I said I wanted to hit pan on equality, which I have done, but also I wanted to make a substantial dip in diversity. However, since the introduction, I actually received a black eyeshadow in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, so I made the decision to leave the black alone to return to at a later date and aim to hit pan in peace, which I've also managed to achieve. So that is 2 extra pans for this month. Before I start finishing shadows up, I would actually like to have pan in every single one of these shadows. So I'm being a little bit sneaky and focusing first in on the shimmer shades. So my goal for February is to hit pan in Yes, which is this gunmetal grey shimmer down the bottom here. As you might already know, I use my phone to record. So I utilised an app called Record It to record me using a random number generator to spin 5 numbers, 1 for each letter of the word bingo, for me to work on. And I'll put up the generator probably over here somewhere. There are 12 pans in this palette, and the first number I pulled was 11, which is actually my focus for February. Yes. 6, which is this red called Love. 3, which is the gold called Identity. 10, the green called Equality. And finally 1, which is the sparkly colour up here called Universal. Let's see how this goes and what kind of eye look I can achieve just using those 5 colours. So as you can see, I've already done a majority of my makeup apart from the eyeshadow. First I'm going to prime my lids using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is in a project. I don't have that much left in it and I'm hoping to get it out within the first 6 months of this year. Let's start by using Universal as a brow highlight. I can't tell you what brushes they are, they were just cheapies that come in a big set. Might use green as an inner corner highlight. And maybe might use the black as the underline and use red and gold. Will that look weird? Oh well. Let's just do it. We're just going to jump in head first and hope for the best. Okay, so we're going to use this red and do my crease. So because, as you can tell, I have terribly hooded eyes, I open my eyes, lift up my brows, kind of go, oh yeah, this is about where my crease should be, where on me it's slightly darkened, which is essentially just above my natural crease. And this is where I put my crease shade. Wow, that was a lot redder than I expected. I get so bored blending. my eye looks never look as perfected as some that I see online, because I really just can't stand wasting the time blending. It's like when someone says, oh, it's a great palette, but you have to work with a bit and blend it. I'm like, cross that one off the list. So my main aim here was to make sure that the red was visible when my eye is open and my brows are not extended, which kind of creates this idea of a fake crease. I feel like at this point I should mention that I am no way qualified for this. I have learnt what I've learnt from YouTubers and really just getting in and doing it. So this is nowhere near as professional as some other people I've seen do looks. Also, I don't understand how people can do one eye and then go and redo the other one after. I forget what I've done. Like, how do you remember every single step? Because I just wing everything. No pre-planned here. I actually quite like this red. Might do red eye looks. Well, I'm gonna have to do red eye looks more often to get through this shade, aren't I? It's not too bad, but as you can see, there's a slight gap. It like dips down because that's what my naturally eye does. So I want to kind of just pull it into here so it looks a bit more even like this one. The worst thing is when you have hooded eyes and you watch YouTube videos that don't have hooded eyes and they've got all this lid space and they create these beautiful eye looks with fantastic wings and everything. There's no way I can do that. Could you imagine trying to put a wing in here? Like, look at this. Look at this bad boy. But you've got to learn to love the eye that you have. Okay, let's move on to the next shade. So what I think I'll do is I'm gonna rock a gold lid today. I've got my little flat brush here, which is currently a little bit dirty. Let's just clean that off. Let's go back. So I've got my little flat brush here. Also, this is a double-ended brush and I have no idea where it's from, but it does the job. And we're going to be going in with Identity. We're going in here with Identity, which I'm going to put all over my lids. Sometimes I have tried spraying these with setting spray to foil them. It's not too bad, but overall I don't really think it needs to be done. Yep, that will do. It's good enough for the bush. Chuck that on here. Yep. we'll go back in with that red just to clear up the crease a bit more, to define it, I guess. Alright. Alrighty. Now, we're going to do the under, yeah, whatever's going on here. We're going to do that. We're going to go in with this little angle brush and, oops, and yes, which is this gunmetal grey. See, this is why I could not do a wing. We're also going to use this to deepen up the outer corner a bit. Just push it in there. And then I'm going to use this blush to just blur it out a bit. Might go up a bit higher actually. Probably could have gone without doing this, but it is what it is. And onto the other eyeball. Next we're going to go in with Equality in the inner corner and up to the top of the brows. The best thing about palette bingo, especially with a pan that wouldn't regularly be considered a standalone pan, is, oh, that's looking a bit dark, is that you create looks that you wouldn't normally even think about putting together. You know, having to use what you have instead of needing to find the perfect transition shade and all that, you know, you can come out with things that are quite lovely but not normally your cup of tea. We're gonna use this little one which has got some purple on it. Can you tell I need to wash my brushes? Or this purple one, just to add a little bit more green. I actually quite enjoy having a different coloured inner corner. It adds a different dimension. And I've seen someone on YouTube put it up into their brows. It's just something that I like to do sometimes. Finally, we're going to go back in with a little bit more of Universal, just to brighten up the inner corners. And I'm just going to give a little bit more here, because there is never enough bling. Okay. And that is essentially our finished look. I'm now going to go in with the Rimmel, I can't even remember what this is called, to be honest. I'm going to go in with a Rimmel black eyeliner. Oh, yep. Girl, you got a fine looking waterline. Yep. Then we're going to go in with the W7 Double Up Mascara. And we're going to finish up with the Be Beauty Lip Lacquer. This is the finished look, using nothing but the Australis Kaleidoscope palette on my eyes. So I'm Verity. That was the first update for my Pan That palette 2020, and now to the outro.